Hi everybody, this is Canonsburg UP Church. The church?
Get church.
Right here at Canonsburg UP Church.
Still morning.
Good morning, yeah. We're on early but late. We're
early,
on
early but not necessarily necessary.
Ish, yeah, because
Well, I got there at 11 and nobody was here.
11:28. I was here about 10:52.
the leader of the pack here,
Too early.
the leader of the ministerial pack doesn't have a meeting today. So we didn't have to rush right up.
Didn't have to.
Yeah.
Then weren't sure if Al was going to be here and did show up.
Well, I knew that. I
When I
knew.
left on Sunday, I told you, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
because-
said,
And I did. I actually had forgotten.
See, I reminded him.
Then we moved to the ministerial meeting,
Yeah.
and
because of the rain?
that would have been a good reason. No, because of being Easter and stuff, and several people were.
Wow, what an Easter we had, huh?
Here, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, the cross is still adorned with the multicolored metal.
20 crowny stuff.
Yeah, it's still beautiful.
Yes.
Those are interesting lights.
Aren't they? They're not even lights. They're just they reflect. They reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool to have lights.
Oh, I thought there was lights on it.
Next
It's
year.
not a Christmas tree.
Next year.
Oh.
Oh, but actually, that's a good. You go from
No.
Christmas tree to Easter tree. That's really good.
It's not, yeah, but that's not a tree.
It's like the upper room.
It was a
It
tree.
was a tree.
In another life, but not.
Yeah. That
He is risen.
he
He
is
is
risen
risen
indeed.
indeed. Good call, Al. There you go. Did you see how you answered mechanically and everything? I am not a robot.
Mm-hmm. No, I can't say that about myself.
You're a robot? Well, I wonder that sometimes.
Wouldn't I'm not a robot be the kind of thing that a robot would say?
Or it's,
Well, yeah, I
it's hard
guess.
to say.
So what are you?
I'm not gonna say.
But I've seen your ears come off.
That's why I'm not gonna say.
Well, you know, and then I see all that electrical work inside. Yeah. And see, that's what's going to happen with your mustache that you got going on. It's going to short your circuits. What circuits you have left.
Yeah.
Yes. Alvin has a yard full of water.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Inching its way towards the front door.
Lake Meadows, yeah.
Lake
It can't get up there.
You know what, Alvin?
No.
I think that we should go scuba diving today in there. What do you think?
You know, it's only 6 inches deep. So.
Did you see the
It's
picture?
perfect. He's not certified anyway, so. I mean, he's certifiable, but he's not certified.
Did you see the picture of the alligator going in the river from Three Rivers from the point yesterday?
No.
An alligator?
Alligator, I'm telling you.
How big was it?
It was big. It was a big alligator.
I don't know. I feel like a fact check.
It was on
I
Facebook.
feel like a fact check.
It was on Facebook.
An alligator in the Alleghenies.
Was it a true story?
I don't know. I don't know.
Was there anything recognizable that you could tell it was Pittsburgh?
Oh yeah, it was on right at the point. He was crawling in the water. Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Never know.
Well, because you know we had that alligator down here in our creek. Remember Dan that got it?
He was like a baby.
Well, it could have been
Dan is an outdoorsman.
Yeah.
But Dan is not wrestling an alligator.
He was
I
down
think
there
not.
fishing and he found an
I
alligator
think so.
swimming around.
This sounds. I gotta admit, this sounds vaguely familiar. Ashley, you're always on. Why don't you comment about that? Did that actually? How big was the alligator?
It wasn't a big alligator.
Right.
But
Hey,
Dan
when are we
was-
going to do the question and answer?
That
I know. I keep forgetting my laptop. I don't have.
That was
Factual.
Well, yeah, it
Satisfactory. Okay.
Well,
I believe it. I vaguely recall it. I just don't have significant.
Yeah. I didn't even look and see if the creek was high. Was the creek high?
I'm assuming it
You
is.
said
It's
creek?
higher than normal.
Yeah, higher than normal. Do you say creek?
Well, how do you spell it?
Creek.
So, what's the normal sound of two E's? Like, if you're going to look at something and you use the word that has an S in front of it, what do?
I followed it.
Creek.
You.
I seen it.
Yeah. So, and when so then it would make sense that
See, it took me all that
it
time.
would be what? It would be
You
what?
said S.
Correct.
Huh? What? What did Alvin say?
Alvin
It
used.
would be a crick.
I quit, yeah.
Yes. Well, so if you've seen something, right?
I saw
Right.
it. Yeah.
So seen, two E's make the sound of E.
But so does S-C-E-N-E.
Yes. Yes.
Seen.
But C-R-E-E-K would normally be
Crick.
creek.
Quick.
Just like if you
I remember.
if you have
I
in
got
the
a
past
crick. I got a crick in
attended
my house.
somewhere, then you've been there.
No.
Been,
No.
seen,
No.
creek. Yes.
No. You are so wrong about being, okay? Welcome to America, okay? Welcome
You
to
realize that
America.
America is a very large country with many different accents.
Well, yes, the
Okay,
bean.
all right.
You know, bean you get might pick up in Boston for Boston beans.
Yes, that would be
But we
B-E-A
can.
and also a,
Look, Alvin and I have been around.
you've been around. I don't know if that's a compliment.
We've been around. And we've been
Is that something
around.
you're proud of?
That we've been around?
Yeah.
Well, in a way.
We're bilingual. It's
A
creek.
bi-
It's creek work.
To be clear, there's only one citizen here who is of a country with actually national languages.
You guys mess up words too.
Yeah, but you can't spell right either. You got all those extra U's.
Trust me, you belong in more places.
Oh.
Oh shoot, I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just said that. You belong in more places than you are. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Then you
So
would.
I would think you would appreciate that.
You put U's in places where
It looks so much better.
it looks so much better.
100%.
I think in your mind.
Yeah. Here, by the way,
In
so
the recesses of your mind.
in a leap way too far.
Leap.
Yeah, in a leap way too
Left.
far. So it turns
Left
out
way
there
too far.
are actually other alphabets
Yeah.
that have been created over the years that people have said are actually more accurate to the English language than the current alphabet we have. Yeah, it's fascinating. So you could do
There's a lot of weirdos out there.
you could do a deep dive on YouTube if you want.
What are you
And
saying? A,
I'm-
B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yes, there are other well,
They need to go with the flow.
not even anymore. This is old school, like long time ago. These
Long time ago.
alphabets have been
Long
yeah.
time ago.
Because there's so many different combinations
They're
of.
nonconformists.
Maybe they were. I want to say like
What language would you
like
like to add?
no, it was like completely different. So it corresponded to the actual phonetic sounds in English. So there were letters for all of the different sounds that you would make.
So PH.
Yes, exactly. So stuff like that. Yeah.
No.
The unnecessary fact that we have the U in the Q, right? Like you never have a Q without a U. Almost. There's almost never the case in English. Anyway, there's a whole bunch. It was fascinating. Fascinating.
Q-A-T.
Yeah, I know. That is cat.
S-U-Q.
S-U. Oh, what is S-U-Q?
I don't know, but it's a word.
Someone plays Scrabble. Because you need to know the opportunities that you have to get rid of that Q.
Well, I know nothing about no Q's, no U's.
Q-Y.
I think those are like the three. I think those.
I don't know nothing.
That's okay. That's right. Anyway, way far afield of anything we were
When you were a
needing to
child.
talk about today. When I was a child, I thought like a child, I acted like a child, I spoke like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
real glad about
you were
that.
gonna say,
I don't know, that phone is pretty childish. But
we can get rid of it if you want.
your phone?
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't. Okay?
Anyway,
You couldn't.
what is it?
I can't.
When I was a child,
When you were a child, did you have to diagram sentences in school?
I don't remember doing it.
Oh, you would remember diagram sentences.
Well, not necessarily.
Oh, you would.
There's a lot of things that I may not have paid attention to.
It was no fun. I didn't pay attention in English class.
Did you diagram sentences?
Well, we were supposed to, but I don't know.
Oh, I love doing that.
That was something I didn't like.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like diagram sentences. It was never
I'm
me.
more a math guy. In English,
true.
I felt it was
Well,
unnecessary.
you know, and the math part of it, I like geometry because you had to memorize theorems.
Yes.
And in that, I was good at. But, not, I got the trigonometry, I had to cheat the whole way. Yeah.
Sine, cosine,
Yeah,
tangent.
tangent.
Gee.
Yeah, talk about tangents. We're
Yes,
off on-
yes.
You know, we
When we steer back,
steer back to
So what?
Easter.
Oh, yeah.
Easter. Easter.
What do you say? It's funny because in our staff meeting yesterday, we
Did you have
recapped a little bit. We did, yeah, recapped a little bit of Easter.
No,
What were some of your thoughts, highlights about Holy Week, Easter? What did you think of?
Oh yeah, we got that air going on.
Yeah,
It's
dead
okay.
air.
It's all right. Breathe. Let it
Well, it
breathe.
was the first time in a while I've been to the Thursday,
Maundy Thursday service?
So that was good service.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that too. And it was just nice to have a family in town and
Celebrating together. Yeah. Monty Thursday, you and Linda both read,
yeah.
and Linda helps her communion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our candles didn't work very well that night.
So
Yeah.
funny enough, so right over there's a little box. Turns out that in our renovations and whatnot, so we have candles.
We have fake candles.
We have fake candles and real candles. So we have metal fake candles
Yeah,
that allow two things to happen. One,
they don't burn down.
they never burn out, so they're always the same height. So it looks pretty.
Yeah,
It also reduces the amount of wax that's anywhere.
right.
But there are actual candles. They go inside, and what happens?
Ah.
A little fascinating thing. So the candle always remains the same, metal on the outside, right?
Oh.
But there's a spring, and so as it burns, it pushes it up, so it remains at the same height. Well, it took a little while to find the metal candles. They were found not with the actual candles. And so when I was finally putting them up on Thursday, I realized that the inserts were not very high. And I could not find them. It was too late. So I waited till the very last second to light them, hoping that they would last. And they didn't.
But you know what? How did it work out that it was right?
Well, because the people dousing the candles recognized, wait a second, I'm not going to bother it. So that's why
I didn't
they
even know
kind of,
they were doing that.
yep. So they kind of managed as they went. And it worked. It worked.
I thought you were passing notes out to people.
No, Dave came by at one point in time and said, okay, which one should I do? Well, then what happened was the person who went up before him didn't
Yeah.
douse one, so then I was like, yeah, do the other one.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like the fake ones. Lynn and I had a discussion about it actually.
Mhm.
So, see the candles over on the table there? They have that little metal thing on the top. And so
Yeah.
you put the little metal thing on the top to keep the wax from running down the sides and to hold the wax on the top so the candle burns and doesn't drip. Is that what that's for? Or is that just a decorative? Those are.
I think
Are
it's
those,
just
are those
decorative.
fake candles or are those?
Those are real. Those are real.
But
Those
they
are
have
real.
that little thing on the
Yep.
top to hold the wax in so they don't drip down.
I'm gonna say yes to both. That's
Well,
my
it
guess.
works
I think it keeps them uniform looking at the top, so there's an aesthetic. But I also think it does help because you know how you get that wax and you get it, crusty and dripping and stuff.
So our last church, we bought fake candles again, and they've got the liquid inside, and they work great when they're brand new, but over the years, they just stopped working good, and you have problems like we had the other night. And that's why I don't like fake candles. You spend all this money on them, you buy them, and they work great for a couple of years, and then they stop working.
Isn't that the truth?
And who cares if they're not all the same length? And how much the candles, I don't know what candles cost, but if you put the thing on the top, it keeps them burnt. And Linda said, well, it's a safety thing. Well, I don't think it's a safety thing
No.
because still got burning,
Yeah.
still got something burning on it. In
Still
either
hot,
case, it's
yeah.
just the wax thing. But if you put that little metal thing on top, it keeps the wax from going all over the place.
I think that's a part, yeah.
But I don't know if it has to do with how you put the candles out too. You can snuff the candle, you can set the thing on top and mess up the wick on the top of it versus if you just put it down just barely and suffocate the flame.
I'm telling you, this is such an interesting conversation. this
Well, I had
morning.
that conversation with Linda.
Oh.
And
She wasn't very interested in it either.
Now, am I right that you were an acolyte growing up?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, but I've lit candles.
You've lit lots of
Well, I've
candles,
noticed-
yeah.
I was just noticed how some people, when
Daintily?
they daintily
Mhm.
put it down like Garrison, he just gently snuffed it out. He didn't set the thing on top so
And
that
slam
it didn't damage the wick, because you can on a real candle or those fake candles,
Yeah,
you can damage the
the
wick
wick,
by putting
yeah.
it all the way down. But
Then
those
you got
are just
nothing to
meant to
burn.
suffocate it. But most people put it down
This is very
hard on it
technical.
and mess up the wick on it.
This is very, very technical.
There's a technique to it.
That's true. You don't ever snuff a candle.
Why, I shouldn't.
You shouldn't. You don't want to get those dainty fingers stained.
No, I can't take the smoke.
Oh.
It's a different kind of smoke. Both of you, okay? Hey, behave.
Totally can't take
No.
it. No, I just can't.
It's a different kind of smoke.
I know. I'm pretty sure it is.
No, anything
Anyway.
perfume.
Those aren't perfumed. There's a lot more fragrance than whatever you're
Wait.
putting in your.
Okay, you know what? I
You okay?
no, I'm
No,
all
I can
So
tell.
beforehand, we were talking about the Lenten season.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks it was the Kenton season.
It was the Canton season, my goodness.
Yeah.
It was. My goodness gracious.
So it's all about
Do
you.
you feel older?
But, no, I don't feel older.
No.
Well, actually, these last 2 rainy days, yeah, they're killing me. I'm
You look a
telling you.
little older.
Huh?
You look a little older.
Ellen.
Why?
It's the turtleneck.
Maybe.
And I even shaved, alright? I wasn't gonna shave. I wasn't gonna do nothing except shower and put something on.
Shar.
Shower.
Depends on how you spell.
Yeah, S-H-A-R.
Shower. I was gonna shower and got the little Washington.
So
Gave it to Walmart.
so Monty Thursday, you know, one reflection that I have, it didn't take as long as I thought. I was actually
Oh,
we had not nearly as long as I thought we were gonna be.
Well, there was some long lines.
There was a long line. That took a little while, but I think the service was about an hour, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was thinking it was gonna be a lot longer. We had a great.
I especially liked the part when everybody was coming up and nailing it across. The place was perfectly quiet.
Yeah.
There wasn't a sound to be made, and all you heard was tap, tap, tap.
Well, I wanted to be loud.
Tap.
I wanted-
And I said to Drew, sitting next to me, I said, man, this is
Yeah.
awesome.
That's a really good effect, yes.
It's one of my favorite parts of the service line, honestly.
I went to get a piece of paper and there wasn't one in the basket, so I didn't get the nail. I almost just nailed a nail.
So
You could have done that.
you could totally. The problem was when I went to replace the basket, right?
Yeah.
And I stepped out and I lost track of the verses that the choir was singing. I thought I was gonna have enough time. And so I was like barely down the aisle, and you guys were done. I was like, okay, that's when I started talking while I was coming down. But I had planned to even out the paper, the extra paper, but it was mostly all in that side, not on this side. So that's why.
What we're talking about is that you
You
nailed.
can see it online.
Yeah, that's what to do. Yeah.
But nailed a piece of black paper to the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the sound, because I didn't think anybody was hitting it hard enough.
Oh, well, it's funny. If you're online, you can barely hear it.
Yeah.
We didn't have a microphone that picked
Yeah.
it up in the same way. But in the room,
Oh, I know.
it was nice. It was that silence punctuated by tap.
Well, and you know what I was talking about yesterday was something.
Hold on a second. Hold that thought. And the taps, 75% of them, thanks to Al's Hammers. Brought to you by Al Barker's Hammers. One of them was the churches. The other 3, Al's. Yeah,
Al
one
has
was
3 hands.
Al was 3 hammers. One was
And then I thought it was interesting, so people got done hammering and some people just handed the hammer. Some people went and got the nail for the next person and gave them the nail and the hammer. So they did, because it got kind of crowded. Because where the nails were at, you had to get your paper, you had to pick up the nail and do the exchange. And I thought it was interesting that after a while, people were actually picking up the nail and handing the nail and the hammer to the next person in line.
I was serving, so couldn't like crank my head over. That's cool. I did not see that.
Okay, while
So you were gonna say, oh yeah, while you're still remembering, you were gonna say.
we had a conversation. at lunch.
Memory is very short anyway, so you gotta take it while you can get it.
He's already forgotten.
While we were at lunch yesterday, the conversation came up about where the nails in Jesus' hands were in his wrists.
Dude, I don't know.
Well, and it comes up with
I've heard of
the
various.
translation of the Greek into English, right?
I've never. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
The compelling argument that I've heard for the wrists
Is that
is that the hand would not hold the weight of the body.
Oh, okay.
So that so they put the nail through the wrist because of the structure of the body.
Well, the
There's
compelling,
two bones there, you can get
Yeah.
it right in
the,
between.
the word that the original word referred to a part of the body like from here down,
Okay, all right.
and so it could have been hand or wrist.
Yeah.
And then also, although his feet, they were through his feet, yeah, because they took one foot on top of the other one, didn't they? And they were like that.
Those are the images that we have
Yeah.
from 1,000 years after the fact, so it's hard to. But what is a neat thing, and I mentioned this in the email that I sent out on Friday, actually, to the leaders. So something fascinating. John includes this in his gospel that they went to. One of the things that they would historically do is they would break the legs of
Who
the
was being crucified.
because it would speed up the process. So what would happen is you're hanging there, and as you were dying, you would push yourself up, either because there was that piece of wood there, or the nails in your feet to get oxygen, because you'd be literally suffocating.
Yeah.
And so you would push yourself up to be able to catch breath. Well,
They didn't do that to Jesus.
Well, for the soldiers that wanted to expedite the process, they'd break their legs so they couldn't do that,
Okay.
and they would die quicker.
Okay.
So John tells us that when they got to Jesus to check to see if he was still alive, he was already dead. So they didn't have to do that. And what's fascinating, of course, in the Old Testament, they talk about how he would not a bone of his would be broken.
Oh.
So it's actually why I say when I lead communion, which I'll do someday, I don't say this is my body which is broken for you, and this is my body which is given for you. And so there's an interesting kind of pointing back to the prophecy about Jesus, where John basically is saying, yes, this prophecy came true. Well, again, there's a metaphorical and there's a literal, but John points to in that moment, here's another prophecy about Jesus that came true. So, yeah.
So another thought process that came up when I was going up to the cross to nail is everybody was nailing on the front of the cross, and I was thinking, well, there's nothing on the sides. Maybe there's tons of room on the side. Maybe I'll just put it in the side. And I thought, well, no, they nailed Jesus to the front of the cross, so it doesn't matter if I go over top of somebody else's paper or not. But it's better on the front than it is on the sides. That was just something I thought about when I went.
Ah.
Yeah, nice.
Who took all the paper and the nails out? You don't know? Really? You don't know?
It's an act of God.
You did it.
No, actually I didn't. No, I didn't. It was taken care of.
Oh.
It's kind of, it's kind
You showed up on Easter
and
and
it was
they were just
just
gone.
there was no drape over
We
the
were
cross.
amazed.
The
That's
cross
right.
was up,
You
colored,
know what? I didn't even
black
notice
paper
that.
scone.
Wow, somebody was in here working.
Yeah. People were in here. People were in here praying on Saturday.
Oh, I
People
forgot
were,
about that.
So a lot of things are happening behind the scenes that you don't.
That's why the choir sang God is at work.
Yeah, he made me sing in the choir too.
You did a great job. You sang in the choir. You played
You
your
don't know that I
trumpet.
did. You don't know that I did a good job.
He's so funny.
You looked good. You looked good while you were doing it. That's.
I am looking at him, so it ain't clear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody made it clear to Alvin
Mm-hmm.
that the congregation was also saying Christ the Lord is risen today.
Yeah.
So nobody made it clear to him
You know what also no one made? We'll get back to that.
that he was playing that
Mm-hmm.
while the congregation sang.
Mm-hmm.
So he never bothered picking up
He
the song.
sang. That's all right. That's all right. Nobody bothered to get in touch with the choir and the.
Well, when we rehearsed, it was just the choir, so I thought it was just the choir singing that I was playing. And when
That's
the
so
whole
funny.
congregation was singing, I figured,
I
okay,
know,
they must
and
be doing it someplace else.
I have to
Just
tell
read
you.
the whole notes in there.
I remembered about the words, and then I thought, well, Stephanie would remember that.
So remember what? Remember when there's 25 people with slightly different, but we're gonna go with the 25.
No. That when we use that anthem, it's not, it's the
It was
paper.
a hymn, not an anthem.
In the choir, it was an anthem.
Oh, I know, but they had those hymn books there, right? That have the order that everybody else has.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
wait, that was actually my fault. It was all my
Oh, so wait,
fault.
hold on a second.
It was my fault because I said,
Mm-hmm.
give them, because I wanted them to sing the parts. Well, I could have just changed keys and not said a word about it. So that's what's gonna happen next
Yeah,
time.
next time we're just gonna take those things, we're just gonna put them right back in the shelf, and we're just gonna use the hymn book. So much easier.
Hymn book.
Why? I want to know this. Yeah, the hymn book. I mean, they can use the lyrics off the.
That's why I was confused, because I was using a hymn book, and I
Mm,
thought
right.
the verses all came in the
Right.
right order, and I didn't understand.
No.
And then at 11 o'clock, is it right?
Yeah, they switched around. I don't know which order they switched, but everything was
The
the
choir
same.
fixed no order.
Okay.
The choir went with the hymn book instead.
Well, we knew that they were out, that verse 4 was before verse 3, and so when we sent it, Megan told everybody, and so
Used the
then
hymn.
when we sang them to switch to order.
Oh, okay.
verses, because that's the way they
I
are.
see, I wasn't there for that. Because for 11 o'clock, I gotta go back to the choir room. I just
Oh, yeah, we went
can't,
over that.
yeah.
I just want to know this. Listen, somebody wrote a song, right? Somebody wrote an initial song. It's always a writer of a song, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody comes along and publishes it somewhere.
Yeah,
And maybe somebody comes along 10, 20, 100 years later, publishes it again.
yeah.
Just stay with the same order. Don't mess it around. Don't be like, I like this order better. No, just stick. If you want to eliminate a verse, fine. Don't publish it.
Well, I didn't read the verses. I didn't read the verses to see whether there was a reason for the order, and
Oh.
you know, maybe they tell a story and there's an order. You know, some things have to be
Right.
sung in order because the
Yeah,
story
yeah.
goes in that order.
Mhm.
I didn't pay attention to the words in the verses to see
Right.
whether they had to be.
And I don't know who it was, whether it was the publisher of the anthem, or the publisher of the hymn. I don't know.
No,
Just come on, be on the same page.
well, we weren't on Sunday morning. That happens.
No, I meant the publishers. I was, yes, on
But
the.
do you know how many verses are actually in Amazing Grace? I'll bet you there's 11 or 12 verses to Amazing
Yeah, but I don't think they're not all original.
Well, no, they're not. all.
Various people have added
Right.
verses, like.
I mean, it's so easy to do that. And you can sing Amazing Grace to other
Oh,
melodies
yeah.
besides
Yeah.
that melody.
My favorite?
Is
Come on, my favorite? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
I did not
Was
know that.
blind, but now I see. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, isn't that great?
That's a really good one.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the Flintstones.
No.
There's something that you can do to the Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
Yeah.
There's the
Flintstones.
Flintstones.
Yeah. They're the modern Stone Age family.
Oh my goodness.
From the town of Bedrock, they're a place right on a story. Da, 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 da. Let's ride with the family down the street.
Oh my goodness.
They
Yeah,
are.
that's not.
Yeah, that's
You didn't watch much Flintstones, did you? Wilma!
yeah. I loved it.
It was a
It
good
was a good show. It was a good show. Very
That's
funny.
a good show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He
He
worked.
a lot of gas.
He worked where? Where did he work?
He
show.
went-
Corey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite.
Bedrock Corey.
Look at that's Fred Barney.
Mr. Flint.
Yeah. Do you remember the photographs that they would take? They would take a camera, right? And inside the camera was a bird.
Oh yeah.
Who would etch on a piece of stone.
Yeah.
It's very
Well,
funny.
plus you
That's
have.
what they had to do back in the day.
That's what they had to do,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus you have Flintstones eyebrows.
What? They're very dark. Yep, yep.
No.
There's two of them.
They work right here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
I always liked how he bowled.
Bold.
Yeah, he would go. He would bring the ball back, and then
Oh.
his twinkle toes, he would, you know, that was, yeah, I can't bowl my so,
I haven't bowled in years.
I realized, so something important, so in 3 minutes, that phone is going to start ringing. I knew.
We know
No, it's going to be a reminder to pray. So,
it. So let's pray.
I think it's, yeah, that sounds good. I think, though, we should wind it up with that. That way, just kind of,
But I
and then you can go to piano.
But you're not going to be here next week, right?
I'm not going to be here next week. You're going to be doing it by yourself.
Me and
Oh, you now. Yeah.
yeah. But we have to remind people about men's breakfast coming up.
Yes, next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday. There'll be a men's breakfast at 8:30. Women's breakfast. 8. Sorry. Okay. 8.
And the spring football game for Penn State's that thing too.
So you might not be here.
I
Either.
know.
You won't.
Oh,
Kent will be here as long as he remembers to wake up. I will not be. I will be traveling.
So you won't be here
I will not be here
breakfast?
next Saturday's breakfast.
Alan won't be here for next breakfast?
Maybe you should come down.
That maybe you should be.
You get a free breakfast, encouragement, prayer,
And these two won't be here, it'll be even better than usual.
even better than normal.
Yeah.
Also, communion this Sunday.
Communion this Sunday, yeah.
And,
And we were talking about it earlier too, we have a youth Sunday coming up at the end of the month.
28th of April, last Sunday of the month.
28th or the 27th?
28th.
What's going on that day?
Youth Sunday.
Youth Sunday.
Youth Sunday.
Yeah.
You'll lead us in worship.
I might take that day off.
Mm-hmm. You might, you will,
I might.
you might.
Yeah.
There you go. No Ken. Any last comments
I'm going to.
I gotta say, Olivia Nixon was excellent.
on the trombone?
Yes, she was.
Very impressive.
Great job. Great job. Our choir did a great job.
Phenomenal job. Thank you, choir.
Yeah.
Thursday. So the two.
We're getting a lot of views.
What's the Maundy Thursday hymn or anthem that you guys with your
Thy
little
Will Be
piano?
Done.
Yeah, Thy Will Be Done. Great. And then the Easter, the following, the last piece, the
Joy in the Morning.
Joy in the Morning was great.
Yeah.
Hey, it's gonna ring. So let me just say this prayer, and then we'll go. Got church.
Kid Church right here at Canonsburg UP Church. We will love you. We will teach you. And I'll introduce you to my powwow.
Our prayer for you is that you would find peace today and every day through Jesus Christ. And that's our blessing.
That is. Because we sure do.
Absolutely.
We sure do.
All right.
Without his peace, Coleman would be mincemeat.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Amen.
Amen is right.
And one of the greatest things about Easter was just how many people were here at the service.
Yeah, how many?
I don't know, a lot. At the
Yeah,
first
a lot.
service, the place was pretty full. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
It was almost the same. Almost the same 11. The numbers were almost exactly the same.
It looked different, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of families, a lot of kids.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great Easter. Absolutely.
Stick around for some music.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next
Yeah,
week.
well, I promise I'm going to play something.
All right.
Something.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye now.